So I want to talk about something that's just driving me crazy right now with the Democratic Party, and that is the fact that Kevin Hassett and Scott Bessent can go on national TV every day and talk about real wages increasing in the United States under the Trump administration, and credit the Trump administration for the real wages increasing due to all the job creation that's happening, even though we know we're losing jobs. Like we know this. This is common knowledge. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because I've heard no rebuttal whatsoever from the Democratic Party as to the real reason why real wages are rising in the United States. And it's very clear as to why. We know it's not because of job growth from the trillions of dollars that are coming into the country that Donald Trump secured. That money hasn't even started coming in yet, if it ever does. The reason we are experiencing real wage growth in the United States in 2025 is because 2025 is a year of record minimum wage increases across the country in, I believe, 23 different states, a total of 88 different jurisdictions where minimum wages started increasing on January 1 and will continue all the way up until the end of 2025. And this is what is driving real wage increases in the United States. And of course, the vast majority of these places are democratically held or blue leaning or even purple places. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, increasing minimum wage is a subject that Democrats own, that Republicans are largely against. It's something Democrats run on quite often. And here we have a case in 2025 where real wages so far are up about $1,200 this year. And it's because of a record number of minimum wage increases across the country. We've never had this many. Of the jurisdictions, most will reach or exceed $15 an hour, and a substantial subset push towards $17 an hour or more. This is impacting 9.2 million workers nationwide. That's what's creating the real wage growth in the United States. That's it. As a matter of fact, the real wage growth in the United States would be significantly higher if we weren't losing jobs, if people weren't losing their overtime, if people's pay wasn't getting slashed as some sort of agreement to either take less pay or lose your job. That's happening all over the country right now. So the fact of the matter is, in a normal functioning economy, real wage growth would be significantly higher right now with all of 23 states and 88 different jurisdictions around the country raising minimum wage. My frustration lies in the fact that I don't think anyone knows about this. I've yet to hear a single person talk about this anywhere. And the Republicans have been going on for months and months about real wage growth. And I know, look, I get it. Real wage growth isn't a huge thing in the United States right now because the cost of living is hurting people, right? And it's hard to it is hard to make the argument that real wage growth matters. But it would give the Democrats an alternative of something to talk about, something pro-Democrat that they supported that is working, instead of the 24-hour news cycle of all the bad things Trump does. You need to mix in the positive things that your party has brought to the table during this time. You need to be talking about it. Would the Republicans be talking about it? Absolutely they would. They would be talking about it. You cannot convince me that the Democrats are good at messaging. You just can't. And this is a long time frustration that I've had with the Democratic Party. And look, I'm not a politician. I'm not a political strategist. I don't know all the right things to say. That's proven every day on my social media when I anger different people. If I say something that appears to be positive for one side or the other, I anger the wrong people and they unfollow me. I don't care. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. And I can't imagine why you would not be at least crushing the Republican narrative that is due to all the job creation. That's an easy win. You can't rely on the failures of your opposition to win. You have to show people what you've done. You have to show people things you've done. You have to highlight the positives. I think Democrats are really bad at that. I honestly, I don't know if they're aware if this is but to me, you talk about this and you can talk about how Republicans are staunchly against minimum wage increases. And in the few places that are red areas where this is also occurring, you're going to see a lot of moderate Republicans. And you can tie, the Democratic Party to that and independents. And I don't understand the refusal to talk about wins. When that's all the Republicans do, they talk about wins. And when they don't have wins, they make up wins. And because of that, they win. I'm not suggesting for a moment that Democrats make up wins, but you have a win right here in your hand and you're letting the Republican Party take it and walk away with it. And I get it. There's a lot of crazy things happening in the country right now. But people will tire of you talking about that every day. They just will. No matter how bad it is, people are going to get tired of you talking about it. You need to find space. You need to find areas where you can inject good news, wins from the Democratic Party, and they're just not capable of doing it right now. I understand they're hyper-focused on Donald Trump and, the problems. I just feel like you got to highlight wins, and I feel like this is a win. But, apparently they don't agree with me, and that's fine. But this kind of stuff really, when I see Republicans make claims that go completely unrebutted and unchecked and just left alone, it drives me crazy because we know how many people in this country will just believe whatever politicians say, especially when they're not challenged. And I feel like you have to push back on all of these things, at least get a conversation started, at least gives people something to think about. Well, maybe that's not true. Let me go look. A lot of people in this country, especially independents, they'll just go look and see what's true and what's false. But when you don't counter, when you don't defend yourself, or when you don't make a counter argument, you are essentially surrendering that topic. And every topic you surrender is a loss. Period. Do you agree with me or not? Let me know what you think in the comments section. I really appreciate all my new followers and subscribers. Please like and share. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend.